Dean, it's an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm really excited to chat with you. It's such a fun time for the horror and comedy kind of worlds right now. And I'm wondering from a script to screen journey, what's that like kind of seeing that blend of horror and comedy? Because it's got the laughs, it's got the scares, the parenting, and then seeing it come to life on screen. What's that script to screen journey like for you specifically?
Yeah, well, the script was fantastic when I read it, and I was really excited to be a part of the of this movie. And then when they announced the rest of the cast, I was like, "You got to be freaking kidding me!" Lisa Kudrow is a comic genius. Edie Falco, they're all legends, and the fact that we all got to hang out and be in this movie together was awesome. And interestingly, I think before we even started filming, Lisa and Parker and me all shared a house, and Edie Falco was next to us. So we just had a great time getting to know each other. I think we all felt immediately that we had been old friends for a long time. It was crazy, and I think that really brought it into. I think we brought that into the movie. Either consciously or subconsciously, however that works. But that was a big part of what this movie's about, and so that journey from the script to the screen was a great one. It was fun.
Absolutely. I'm a filmmaker as well, so I always think of these things because it's so much happens right before, like in between,
Yeah,
right? So
right.
I always think about that. And Dean, you have an incredible body of work, different worlds where you play different characters. I'm wondering kind of how separate are past projects for you compared to something like the parenting? Like, do you ever bring mindsets or preparation like from projects like Breaking Bad, Under the Dome, Carry On to something like the parenting, or are they completely separate once you wrap them specifically?
Well, I think for me, it all comes from the script.
Yeah.
I just want to do the service of that story and what my character is in that story. So I think that's common for everything, comedy, horror, or, drama and serious stuff. With the comedy, I think it's just a little more, um, I don't know. It's just feeling comfortable with the people you're working with, and then that comedy just comes natural. It's a little bit easier. Drama. I mean, there's a different process because drama is much more soul searching and bringing emotion and stuff out, and this is more about this character was more just on the he wore his character on his sleeve. He was ham fisted. He didn't have any filter. He loved his son, and he was going to take care of him and fix this stuff, and that's who he was.
With this film specifically, the fact that it's such a kind of, fun ride for the audience member with the fact that it's got the scares and it's got the laughs. I know as an actor, Dean, you try not to do this, but I'm just wondering, are you ever conscious of the audience member watching the parenting at all, whenever you're in production while you're making it? Or is that something that happens a little bit after you wrap? Just like the audience member, like reacting to it. Like, do you think about those things or is that something that happens
That's
afterwards?
definitely something that happens afterwards. No, I don't really think I respect and that's why I try to bring my A game at all times because I appreciate that someone's gonna, watch this and see it and hopefully we can make them laugh and enjoy themselves for a couple hours. But on the set, at the time, no, I just try to be in the moment.
Absolutely. And then I kind of wanted to know as well, specifically in that world of like horror films, there's a lot happening. And whether, it's like you've worked in that genre or you're just seeing it just kind of as a viewer or kind of someone that's a storyteller, right? When did you start noticing horror films and thriller films pushing the envelope, like adding comedy, doing the psychological? Like, is there a time in your career as a storyteller where you've noticed that a lot specifically?
I guess Shaun of the Dead was probably the first thing that struck me as being that kind of a show.
Yeah.
I generally, I'm not a huge horror fan. I'm not like I mean, I see the ones that are important, but and of course the scary movies, franchise, which is also the comedy and horror and stuff. Although I think ours is much different in terms of our comedy. But yeah, I mean, I think we're always evolving. All the types of films and the genres are always going to be reinventing themselves, and I think it was a nice. This one in particular, I just felt really, you just kind of balanced the two together, and I loved it.
Absolutely. March 13th, that's the parenting on Max. Dean, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.